Yeah, welcome everybody back to the X Factor Sports Talk. We're not stars. We're not superstars. We're changing the game. We superstar X Factors. We're X Factors. We're changing the game. We got some special guests with us today. As always, I got my co-hosts Troy and Caleb. How y'all doing?
Doing pretty good.
And then we got two special guests. We got Daniel and Dylan joining us today. What's up, guys?
Yes, sir. Excited to be here, man.
Yeah, doing good.
So we wanted to do this special video. We just got out the Brightest Future video. And so now we're going to switch gears to a 25 and under draft. And we have discussed about the draft order and draft pool. There's 42 guys that we have on the list that are available to be drafted. And so 7 rounds, we're going to build a 5-man starting rotation with 2 bench players. And at the end, we'll discuss who we think has the best team, best group of guys. And so announcing draft order. And at number 1, we got Caleb. At number 2, we got Fred. At 3, we got Dylan. At 4, we have Daniel. And at 5, it's me. So any thoughts before we get rolling, boys? Are we ready to rumble?
Excited, man.
Ready to rumble? All right. I'll give it to you, Caleb. First pick. Who you going?
Collin Sexton. I'm just kidding. Luka Doncic. My guy Luka. I think he's arguably top 10 in the league right now. The only other guy right in this draft pool is Jokic. I think he's by far the best player. Brightest future ahead of him. I think he at any point in his career can be a top 3 player in the league, and he's heading that way now. So I think it's not up for debate.
Yeah, on his young career, he's already averaging 25 points, 8 rebounds, 7.5 assists. He's already a one-time All-Star, one-time All-NBAer. He's a Rookie of the Year for the 2018-2019 season, and sky's the limit for Luka. I mean, yeah. I think that we all kind of knew where that pick was going.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think there was
that was the easiest pick of the
draft. By far the easiest pick of the draft. And so, Fred, pick number 2, buddy.
Give me Nikola Jokic. I'll do the second best player here.
How hard was it not to choose Jaylen Brown?
I'll be making some trades if he doesn't fall.
You'll be moving up on the board, huh?
Nah, Nikola Jokic, easily, I think probably the front runner for MVP this year.
Yeah.
He's been rising up every year he's been in the league. Say it again, Coach.
So Embiid's making that case right now.
Hey, I've been shouting Embiid's praises too. So
yeah.
Nikola Jokic, too good, sees the floor so well.
Yeah, on the year, he's pretty much averaging a triple-double. He averages 26, 12, and basically 10 assists. And on his career, I mean, 17.5 points, which isn't great, but he's starting to finally take that next step, and then 7 rebounds and 5.5 assists. And the point that Caleb made, I think a few videos ago, was that, this short offseason really, I think, helped Nikola Jokic, because he normally during the summer gets really out of shape and then comes in early into the year and he looks slow, fat, like he's not moving very well. But this season he's come in with a sense of just urgency and ready to go. So, I mean, I think that 2-time All-Star already, 2-time All-NBA, and potentially an MVP is going to be added to his resume real soon. So Nikola Jokic, not surprised there. He goes off the board at number 2. Dylan, take it away. Pick number 3.
All right, this is a little tough for me. I don't know. I was looking through a couple dudes, but I'm ultimately going to go with Jayson Tatum here at number 3.
I don't like that pick. Don't like that pick.
Yeah, I know you're big Jaylen. I love Jaylen Brown. I don't know though. Jayson Tatum just got something different about him.
What made you pick him over some of the other guys?
Well, personally, like Ben Simmons, for instance. I don't like Ben Simmons. Personal bias. I was gonna go for Cat possibly, but the thing I think that the big determining factor for me was the fact that Jayson Tatum has so much playoff experience and literally such a short career that if we're building to win a chip, I mean, the amount of playoff experience this man has compared to some of these guys.
3 straight years in the playoffs, 3 straight years, I'm pretty sure, in the Eastern Conference Finals. This, or not 3 straight, but 2 out of the last 3, I'm pretty sure it was in the Eastern Conference Finals. Last season, he averaged just at 26 points in the playoffs, 10 rebounds and 5 assists. So, I mean, I love Jayson Tatum. I've sang his praises a lot on this on the Sports Talk, and for his career, he averages 17.5 points, 6 rebounds, 2.5 assists. So the only real kink in his game that he needs to fix is probably his playmaking. Maybe get some more assists in there and create for others more. But in terms of just being an all-around scorer, I mean, this kid's unbelievable. And as you said, the experience that he has is you can't replace that. And
Brown.
Yeah, obviously he's better than Jaylen Brown. I don't think
he is.
I don't agree with that, but
he's already a 1-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA.
Hey, we all got opinions,
and he's in year 4. So, Exciting times for Jayson Tatum. I love the kid. And at pick 4, Daniel, where are you rolling, brother?
All right, man. I am going to take the first cat off the board, and I'm going to take Devin Booker. In the bubble, averaged 30 points a game, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds. The kid might be the best scorer on this list. And I think to start off my team, I want to get the best scorer there is.
Yeah, he on his young career already averages right at 22.5 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. And, while him and Chris Paul are kind of having their struggles right now, kind of, getting together and playing well right now, I think that when it comes to the playoffs, I've been thinking this a lot. They remind me of the Denver Nuggets last season, going in. I think they could make a run at a Western Conference Finals as long as the bracket doesn't do them dirty and pair them facing off against the Lakers. And I think that they could manage against the Clippers. I think that would be a heck of a series for a Western Conference semifinals. But Dana, real quick, just way off topic here. Would you take the Suns or the Clippers in a semifinals game?
Clippers.
Yeah.
All day long.
But yeah, Devin Booker, bright young star. I'm a little surprised he went there. I expect him to make it a little bit further, but as you said, young kid can absolutely fill it up. And so now it's me, and I'm looking here. I think I'm going to take one of my favorite young guys, Trae Young. Trae Young, he's in his year number 3. He's a 22-year-old kid and can absolutely fill it up. And he's average on his career 24 points and 8.5 assists. So he hasn't had a season yet where he averaged under 8 assists. Has only had one season below 25 points, and that was his rookie year. Trae Young is an unbelievable talent. I really like Trae Young. What are your guys' thoughts on Trae Young?
I think you took him a little early, but also I'm the guy that just said I wanted to get a score off the board, and you just did that too. So
yeah, I think it's playmaking too. What do you think, Caleb? I see you shaking your head a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, obviously he's good. I just don't know if his game attributes to winning, a good winning franchise. So I mean, I'm not sold on him, but you are. So
I love Trae. I
don't think anybody can argue with you on Trae Young. So
I just think sky's the limit for that kid. The way he just play makes for others, and it's while he scores about 25 to 30 points every night. He obviously went through a little bit of a funk early on, but it seems that those days are behind him as he just put up about 40 points against the Timberwolves, who obviously aren't a good defensive team, but. Good to see him make some shots and get rolling. But yeah, I had to take Trae, and then to round out, I got to get a little defense here. I'm gonna go Bam. Top end of the round.
Good.
Obviously recency bias. The kid just put up 40 points against the Brooklyn Nets, 9 rebounds, pretty sure 5 assists. I love Bam. I think sky's the limit for him as well. I think that if he develops some sort of jump shot, which I think he's starting to show that his mid-range game is progressing. What do you think, Fred, about Bam?
Yeah, I never thought he could. I don't think he's a number 1 guy. I don't think he could be number 1 on a team. But he'll be a great 2.
Yeah, and his rebounding is pretty solid. He averages right at 9 rebounds. Averages 20 points a game this year, which if you would have told me coming into the year he was averaging 20 points a game, I probably would have not believed you to a sense. I would have thought he's a little below 20. But with Jimmy Butler out, he's kind of accepted that role. And while the Heat aren't winning, they're in every game almost, and they're competing. And I love Bam. I think he's really, bought into
alongside a guy like Trae Young, that pick and roll game would be scary.
So nasty. Yeah, and that was kind of my goal. My goal was to put Bam in there, and he's a one-time Eastern Conference Final champ. He knows how to win. He's got that winning culture in him, and I don't need flash when I got Trae Young at the helm. So, Daniel, I think you are up, brother.
I am up, and I'll admit I wanted to take Bam right there, so I'm currently scrambling on whom to pick. But I am going to go get my point guard. I'm going to take a second cat. I'm going to take Jamal Murray.
So you're kind of throwing the defensive side of the basketball floor to the wind a little bit. You're selling out to scoring.
I'm trying to score the basketball, man.
I love that. He's in year 5.
We're going to score the ball.
And he was one of my favorites coming into the year for most improved player. And he hasn't lived up to that just yet. And he has been playing a little bit better. But then I heard rumors about a potential elbow injury. He's averaging right at 19.5 points this year, only 4 assists, which kind of surprised me because he has the ball a lot as a ball-dominant scoring guard. But Jamal Murray, sky's the limit. Fred, I know you have some opinions on Jamal, and I would like you to kind of talk about that real quick.
He's super inconsistent. I love him to death. He's a cat, so he's family, but Way too inconsistent for me. Got
I'm
to see
with
more
him on
consistency with him. Then I'll maybe get on the Jamal Murray train. But right now,
Yeah.
too inconsistent.
Yeah, that bubble, man, that bubble, he made me buy a little bit into the
Yeah.
stock of, and I
everybody
really
did.
love the Nuggets. Caleb thinks from last video that they have the number one best looking future in terms of outlooks for teams. And, with Jokic, Murray, and Michael Porter Jr., who I'm a big fan of, who more than likely will be drafted at some point during this video. If Jamal Murray could take that next step, what are your thoughts on Jamal? What are your thoughts, Caleb?
I think he showed what his potential is in the bubble. He was playing really, really good throughout the playoffs. It was like must-see TV there for a while. Him and Donovan Mitchell going back and forth, him going up against the Lakers. I think that's his ceiling, is like averaging like high 20s or low 30s like points per game.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it's going to take for the Nuggets to like get over that hump and like become like a championship team.
Yeah.
But I like his game a lot.
Yeah. And there goes Jamal. So again, Daniel's got a solid backcourt brewing of Jamal Murray and Devin Booker. Two former Cats. That's a very tough scoring backcourt right there. Dylan, you're on the board, brother. Where are you going?
I'm going to take a man from another Kentucky college, but it's not the one you probably think. We're taking Donovan Mitchell. Taking away Donovan Mitchell here.
Overrated.
Yeah. Wait, who's chanting overrated?
Right.
You are. Have you?
Yeah, it's a little. I'm not big in college basketball though. That's the thing.
Have you watched this kid play recently?
Yeah, for real.
Like he's unbelievable. Like I love watching Donovan Mitchell play basketball. He's one of the few Louisville kids that I just thoroughly enjoy watching. This year he's averaging 24 points per game, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, almost a steal a game. And this kid, I really like him. He's shooting over 40% from 3, which is, really solid. And I personally think he can be a great number 2 in this league for a great team and go out there and win some games. In my opinion, he's got to get out of Utah. But that's neither here nor there. But I like
what video was it in when we were talking about Donovan Mitchell? Where I was like, he came out of nowhere. Like, I don't remember hearing like a whole lot about him. I knew who he was because he went to Louisville, but it's like when he came to the league, I wasn't expecting anything like this at all.
And again, Dylan, he's right there with that playoff thing that you're going on with Jayson Tatum. This kid averaged 36 a game in the playoffs last season.
Paul George and Russell Westbrook in his rookie
year. Like the way he approaches the playoffs, it's a win mentality. Like he just wants to win so bad. And he'll do whatever it takes. I love Donovan Mitchell.
Well, that Jazz Nuggets series was enjoyable even in the games. It was a pretty enjoyable series for me.
Yeah, while he did blow a 3-1 lead. Process. It was really fun to watch. And I love Donovan Mitchell there. And Fred, you're on the board.
So I know Daniel went with a good backcourt. I'm gonna go front court. I'm gonna go Domantas Sabonis with him.
I knew Caleb was probably gonna nab him up.
I was gonna snag him.
I love that kid. He can score it. He can pass it. He can defend. He can rebound. He is special, and I think he is very underrated.
Yeah, and for me, I think I kind of touched on this. Indiana gets blacked out in Kentucky, so I don't get to watch them a lot on the League Pass. But Sabonis is just one of those guys that I hear a lot about, especially from Caleb. Caleb loves Sabonis. So, Caleb, kind of talk about Sabonis. What do you see from him?
He's so tough, man. He's so big and strong. Like, he's really strong. He can have his I drove up there and watched them play the Mavs last year. Like, I'm a Mavs fan, but like, dude, I couldn't help but root for Sabonis. Like, he was eating Kristaps up on the paint, and like, I think he can do that to pretty much. I'd say everybody, probably Jokic and Embiid in the league. And he can step out and hit a shot. Like, I just like his game a whole lot. I think he's really, really solid. He's only 24.
24 in year 5.
Like who knows how much better he gets in the next couple of years.
Yeah, last year he was an all-star, so he'll more than likely be an all-star this year. He's averaging 21, 12 and a half, and 6. Like that's on like pretty much 60% shooting from the from 2-pointers. So man, yeah, I like Sabonis. I wish I got to watch him a little bit more. But kid's tough, man. Kid's tough. That's a good pick.
I got him and Jokic right next to each other. We're great.
Yeah, that's a tough front court right there. Caleb, who are you pairing up? You got back-to-back picks here with Luka.
Oh man. Give me Jaylen Brown. You're gonna steal my guy. I'll steal yours. I think he could play off the ball really well with Luka, and like spot up and shoot, but also go get in his own shot and defend really, really well. If Luka, where Luka wouldn't have to guard the best player. So yeah, I'll take him there.
Yeah.
Can I talk about Jaylen Brown for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna be serious. I'm serious.
Yeah,
watching him play, you ever go to a high school game and you just know who the best player in the whole tournament is? Like you go to an AAU tournament, you just know who the guy is.
Roy Coomer.
Stop.
He's running the floor, he's commanding everything. When I watch Jaylen Brown play, it's a lot like that. He just does everything.
He stands out. He defends extremely well, and I think that's kind of where my head went to as soon as you picked him. Was he makes up while Luka has stepped it up on the defense side of the ball, Jaylen Brown is a very good defender. Kid can guard.
He's averaging 27 a game too.
He is averaging 27 a game with 6 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal a game, half a block, and I mean, from the field, he's shooting 41% from 3 right now, which is unbelievable for a kid like him. He's improved a lot. Coming into the league, he shot 34%, and he's already in year 4, I believe, and in year 5, he's already, at 41, 42%.
You've seen him every year play alongside a superstar, so it's
every year.
I think it's safe to say he is a superstar.
Well, I think he's in the all-star level right now. Yeah. I think he's starting to establish himself. Daniel, what do you think about Jaylen Brown? I kind of see you debating it.
I mean, I love Jaylen Brown. I've loved him since college, but superstar level, that's a big step for him.
That is
No, wait, you're right. He's not a superstar. He's an X factor.
He's an X factor. There you go. I'll give him that.
But yeah, so there goes Jaylen Brown, and back-to-back, top of the 3rd round. Where are you going, Caleb?
I want to have an absolutely absurd backcourt and snag Brandon Ingram, but I'm not gonna do it. I'll take Karl Anthony-Towns. He hasn't been picked up yet.
Cat off the board.
His ability to spread the floor and knock down threes is important. But I mean, he's solid. He can score at any level of the court. I mean, I think he would work alongside Luka really, really well.
Your big 3 right now is looking spicy with Doncic, Jaylen Brown, and Karl Anthony-Towns. Cat is already a 2-time All-Star. He was a Rookie of the Year in 2015, an All-NBAer. And this season, 22 points, but he's been hurt. 12.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists. And again, I'm going to reiterate this: get this man out of Minnesota. The Timberwolves are not a good franchise, and I feel bad for Cat.
This is a perfect world where he doesn't have injury problems, so my team looks really, really good. So.
Yeah, this is a perfect world where we can just look at this stuff. But yeah,
Wait. Before the next pick, I have a question for Fred. So wait, Fred, would you consider Sabonis a superstar? Because you picked him over him. Really? Sabonis is a superstar.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I don't see LeBron, AD, those guys are superstars. I think those guys are on a whole nother level of superstars.
So what would you call them?
Studs.
Yeah.
Studs.
Another world. I don't know.
Yeah. But
you can't say Kevin Durant and LeBron. They're superstars. They're the guys.
Face of the game.
Yeah, right. They're the face of the league. But yeah, so Cat's kind of taking a step back, but again, he's dealing with a lot this season. This season is probably really hard on him, losing all the family members that he's lost over this past year. Losing his mother, who was a big supporter. Big shout out to Cat, man. What you're doing is unbelievable. How you're persevering and pushing through. And big shout out to Cat. He has COVID right now, so I hope everything's going well there. But so Cat's off the board. Fred, where are you going?
I'll go Brandon Ingram here.
Brandon Ingram.
I think. All-Star last year, doing All-Star numbers again this year, tearing it up. Can score at will. Can score at all 3 levels. I think.
And I've always said his playmaking is a bit underrated in my eyes. Watching him as a youngin play with the Lakers, he really had to do a lot. And while his numbers aren't there, he's averaging right at 5 assists this year. And he's improved every year. He started out at 2.1, and he's just kept improving that aspect of his game. And as you said, man, the kid's 6'11" and can literally score from anywhere. A few kinks to his game, he could establish himself as one of the best scorers in the league. And I love Brandon Ingram, but again, the question lies on the defensive end. Is Brandon Ingram, does he wake up every day and want to play defense? Because it doesn't seem like it. But he is a 1-time All-Star. He made the All-Star game last season. And I love Brandon Ingram. I love all the young guys that came through the Lakers.
I think he could be a great defender. He's so long.
He is very long.
See, I wanted to go Ben Simmons here at this pick, but I was like, I have Sabonis and Jokic. I need some shooting.
Ben Simmons is sliding a bit further than I
Yeah.
thought he would, but that could come to an end real soon. Dylan, where are you going?
You already know it. Number 12 from Murray State. You know where we're going.
Go Racers, baby.
Yeah. Ja Morant, my guy.
You are a big Ja Morant guy. You want to talk?
Yeah, I mean, he's my next Russell Westbrook for now.
Yeah, let's not talk about that today.
Yeah,
I don't want to
not
roast
compare-
you.
I
I don't want to roast
Russell
you on the
Westbrook.
podcast.
Dude, he's not played half the season. The Wizards haven't played half the season of the team. But
Yeah, they
Russell
also
Westbrook's
haven't
just
won a
not-
game with him on the roster.
yeah, I know.
Wait, do you think Russell Westbrook's a superstar?
Oh yeah, I mean, no, I think he's as good as them if he's healthy. He wasn't healthy at the start of the season. Did you see what came out? That's why he wasn't. Did you watch him play? He would not drive to the basket one time. And that's what
but Ja averages pretty much 23 points per game, 7 assists, and 2 rebounds. But Ja dealt with an injury early on in the year. He's only played 5 games this year. But Ja, whenever he plays, man, I love watching him play. He plays with a high intensity, high motor. I'm a big Ja fan.
That's why I love those guys that play like that. That's why I'm a big Westbrook fan. They just go, which can be a bad thing at times. I mean,
I was about to say, but do you think that Ja can contribute to like a winning team?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like we said, it's only his second year in the league,
Yeah.
so we got to see how he progresses more. But I mean, he has all the talent and he's got the keys. I mean, they got Jaren Jackson, solid player. I think they need something else. I mean, they got Dylan Brooks, who's looked good, young guy. He's hit or miss sometimes, but I mean, team's not bad. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he could definitely be a 1 or 2 though on his winning team. Probably a 2.
Yeah, more so too. I don't think he can be
Yeah.
a 1 on a team. But last year he was the rookie of the year. He beat out Zion, who only played a handful of games.
Oh, if Zion would have won that, would not have been a happy guy.
But so Ja is the reigning rookie of the year. So you got a little Ja, Donovan Mitchell, Jayson Tatum.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, we're selling tickets with dunks. I mean, they'll come watch us do a little dunk show in here. But
you are selling a lot of tickets. But Daniel, who are you taking here, man?
All right, man. I'm going to take the only guy who was drafted before Ja, and I'm going to go Zion, right? I feel like I added a lot of offense. I have to add some type of defense down low, at least a little bit. So I'm
Some
going
sort of
Zion
defense, just a little bit.
Yeah,
but
I'm not a whole lot with Zion, but just a little bit.
yeah, just throw
better
it.
than Jamal Murray and Devin Booker.
Yeah, he is a better, interior guy. He's in year number 2, and I love Zion. I do. And the way he's looked this year, dude, and this kid is only in year 2, and every time he's on the court, except for whenever he plays, like LeBron and, Giannis and those kind of guys where he has to, look at them every night or, whenever he's attacking them, he's still at 23 points per game, 7.9 rebounds, so pretty much 8 rebounds, 2 assists. I mean, 58% from the 2-point field goals. So, I mean, but he needs to expand his game. That is where he struggles. And that's where I've always said you need to develop a jump shot. But yeah, 20.
The
He was
third
all,
scoring option now. I feel like that's pretty clean.
no, he's tough. He's very tough. And I know, Fred, what do you think about Zion? Well, I know you've talked about his longevity before, but
I just don't see him being here long. I mean, his knees are just going to give out, I think. I just think he just won't be able to stay healthy. Like when he's on the court, he makes such a big impact, but injury concerns.
I think if he can control that weight, that's the thing. He can fix it if he can just get his weight. I mean, set proportion, his body proportions just don't line up.
Hey, I was sort of thinking this is that perfect world.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Healthy for me, man.
Yeah, so I love Zion. I personally think that was a good pick. But your offense, you're like the Brooklyn Nets. You're going to score points, but you might not be able to guard. But
That's all right, man. That's all right.
Going to score. And I'm going to go a different route here. I'm going to take Ben Simmons. I'm going to grab him while he's still on the board.
He fell.
Who do you have on your team?
Do what?
Who else do you have on your team?
I got Trae Young and Bam, and so now I'm going to establish that front court defense with Ben Simmons, who can run kind of like some high post action. And
You'd play him at the 4?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You're going forward.
100%.
Trae Young's going to have the ball in his hands every possession, and what's Ben Simmons going to be able to do?
Ben Simmons doesn't have the ball in his hands. Have you guys watched the 76er game this year? He is literally a true 4 now. Like he does not bring the ball up except for a handful of possessions. And I mean, he sells out to, this is Joel Embiid's team. And he knows that.
That's
I think
odd that he doesn't.
you spread the floor differently for Joel Embiid than you would with Trae Young, I think.
But I think that would be better for a guy like Ben Simmons to have a guy like Trae Young on the court with him that can just absolutely.
I'm not disagreeing.
And it helps Trae Young certain times, like whenever we pull out some rotations, Trae Young can take a breather. Ben can kind of handle the ball for a little bit, play make for others. This year he's averaging 13 points, 8 assists, 8 or almost 9 rebounds. I mean, while he does, again, he needs to expand his game, and that is the next level for Ben Simmons. He's a 2-time All-Star. He's an All-NBA, or he's an All-NBA defensive team, and he was a Rookie of the Year. I will take that in the bottom end of the 3rd round. A guy that can just defend. And him and Bam, I don't see a lot of people scoring on me too much, especially we can switch at all 5. That's where I'm trying to go here. We can switch all 5 positions. We can guard. We can score. We can do a little bit of everything. And so now I'm going to try to find a score here to pair up with these guys.
I think that was an awesome pick. I think he is the type of guy. Yes, he cannot shoot at all, but I think awesome pick.
I love Ben. I think he's grown on me because I started out a big Ben Simmons hater, and I was not big on him at all. But I'm starting to see like the aspects of his game that he's good at. He's not just good; like he is great at what he can do. Like he can he makes other people look very, very good. And if I were the Rockets, I would have done anything I could have to get my hands on Ben Simmons for Harden. But obviously, all that stuff's already gone. But yeah, Ben Simmons, I really like him here. And I'm honestly going to go with a guy who has played with a lot of good point guards. I'm going to go Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Best pick he draft.
He plays well with other guards, and he is one of my favorite players in the league. I'm a huge Shai fan. He's made the playoffs in every season of his career. He's obviously only in year 3. He made it 1 year with Clippers, 1 year with Thunder, and obviously this year more than likely not making the playoffs. But he's averaging just at 22 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. I mean, what can you say about Shai, man? I love him. He creates for everybody. He's just a really good kid, and he's great at basketball. And you guys got any thoughts on that one?
Great pick. I think he's a steal at pick 16. I think he's a very good player.
Yeah, and pairing him up with Trae, again, another defender, another guy that can handle. You can kind of see the outlook of my team. I'm not going for, all the guys that can just absolutely fill it up. I'm going for the guy. I want Trae Young to get his 30, and then the rest of them to chip in about 15 to 20. That's what I'm going for. But yeah, I had to take Shai there. I really like that pick from me. Great pick, Troy. Great pick.
It is. Love me some Shai. Thunder guy for life.
Daniel, where are you going here, bro?
All right, man. I don't love the spot I'm in. I feel like this under 25 draft pool is very guard heavy.
It is.
I think like De'Aaron Fox would be an awesome pick here. Like I think in rankings, that's where I would be. Now I don't think
you can go to your bench. Come off the bench.
I don't think I can do that yet. I don't think I can do that yet. And we heard Dylan talk about Jaren Jackson Jr. I think I'm going to go with him. It gives me a big win. I love Jaren Jackson Jr. I think he's an awesome player. Now that does not mean he can play amazing defense because he can't. But he can shoot some shots. He spreads the floor a little better than Zion can, in my opinion. And he can block shots down low. So I think he has everything I need as a 4th scoring option. I don't think it gets better than that. So.
And last season, he averaged almost 40% from 3. Like I don't think people understand. Like this kid shot really well last year.
Really ugly, but it goes in.
Do what?
Really ugly, but it goes in.
Right. Not everybody's got a beautiful stroke like me and Fred. But
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Though.
Let me tell you.
Why are you leaving me out of that?
Because your shot's ugly, my guy. All love to you, and you could score, but that form wasn't great.
Caleb, you have beautiful form, bud.
Thanks.
But yeah, he averages 17.4 points last season, and obviously he is hurt. But in a perfect world where he's pretty much your 5 is what I would.
Oh yeah,
with Zion at your 4, I think he gives you some floor spacing for Zion, and I love the pick. I love Triple J. I wish he could stay healthy. Him and Jonathan Isaac, who are both in the pool here, I wish they could stay healthy because I think those two.
Jonathan Isaac.
Perfect world, baby.
Do what?
Perfect world.
Perfect world. Yeah, Jaren Jackson Jr. off the board, and so now we are rolling to Dylan. Where are you going?
All right, I'm going to take a dude I know you like a good amount. We're going to take John Collins.
John Collins.
Great pick. That was what I was deciding between the Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, I had to get a big because, I've got my guards. Tatum can play the 4, but
John Collins off the board. This season, his numbers are a little down than what he is used to.
My reason for that, though, is they added a lot. The Hawks added a lot, and I mean they're playing better as a result. I think it's worth it.
I love the Hawks. I think that they've really set themselves up to make a run at the playoffs. Which I don't know how far they'll go, but I do think that they're putting themselves in a really good position. But obviously his numbers are down. 16 points, 7.5 rebounds, which the year before he averaged just at 22 points and 10 rebounds. So you'd like to see him up his rebounding back up.
That Clint Capella game last night.
Yeah, Clint Capella, underrated. But yeah, John Collins is another one of those guys. He shoots right at 35% from the three, so not terrible. Last year he shot 40%. So again, you would like to see him kind of maintain that 40 because I think if you're shooting 40% at the power forward center position, that's right where the game is going, and that's perfect there. But I like John Collins there, young guy. Obviously, he really solid young guy. So
best player to trade for in 2K.
Yeah.
And Fred, you're up, brother.
De'Aaron Fox.
D Fox.
Yeah.
You took small forward, power forward, center, and then D Fox fell right to you.
That was a perfect fall for him.
That literally slides right in for you.
Quickest guy in the league.
Awesome pick.
That was
De'Aaron
perfect.
Fox, man, I love watching this kid play. He's so explosive. He's so quick. And me and Caleb kind of talked about him before, what his ceiling is. So, Fred, let me ask you, what do you think De'Aaron Fox's ceiling is?
Multiple-time All-Star. I don't think I wouldn't say MVP, that caliber guy, but that next tier for sure.
Yeah, he averages right at 21 points per game, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds.
Yeah.
So he's another one of those guys I would like to see up his assist numbers, especially. But I mean, even now with Halliburton, he's not dominating the ball per se. Like he's more like he's opening up to playing off ball, doing other things, and which I really love about guys that are able to do that. That are able to play off the ball as they grow up all being the one guard, and then they put him with another great point guard, and he's able to adjust. And I love that from Fox. That was a great pick. That fell right into your lap.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, that was a perfect pick. Towards the end of round 4, you got De'Aaron Fox. Like that's crazy. Caleb, to end off round 4, where are you going, brother?
So we have already established this is a perfect world. Injuries aren't a factor. So I got Karl Anthony-Towns. I need another guy that can defend multiple positions. So I'm going to go with Jonathan Isaac. I think
play him at the 4 or the 3.
Whatever he wants. I don't care.
His world.
Yeah. I think his on-ball defense is spectacular. And I don't know how well he shoots from the 3. But I mean, at this point, I brought him in to defend. I think he can defend.
Last season, he was right at 34%.
Yes, I mean it's not great. It's not horrible. But
that's not what we're not asking him to score. Like a lot of teams aren't going to ask him to score. They're asking him to defend his tail off, rebound, and get the hustle points because that's normally where he gets them from. It's just those little hustle points, offensive rebounds, stick backs. I love Jonathan Isaac's game. I wish he would stay healthy, man. I love watching the kid play. I really do.
I'll bring him in as my starting 4. Why not? But
I love that.
So who do you have right now?
I have Luka, Jaylen Brown, Karl Anthony-Towns, and Jonathan Isaac.
Sweet.
It's a very nice start to.
That means you probably won't take the guy I want, so that's good.
And I'm pretty sure you're up again.
Yep. So I'm looking between 2 guys now, and it's really tough. One of them's playing really well. I think both of them are playing really well this year, but one of them's just coming off hot couple games. But I'll take Zach LaVine.
I hate you, bro.
You were.
You're gonna play him at the 3. You're gonna move Jaylen Brown to the 3, is what I'm assuming.
Yeah, Luka's gonna be my 1. He basically, he pretty much is a 1 anyways. And then I have Zach LaVine as my 2, to spread the floor, but also be able to get his own bucket. I like Zach LaVine a lot. I want him out of Chicago unless they set it up because the way he can score the ball is it's like he's one of the best scorers I think in the league right now.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, you watch, he can score at all three levels of the court.
I guess I didn't realize he's averaging 27 points per game.
The thing with me on Zach LaVine though is like the Bulls are bad. They're not the best team. So if he was on a team that had like two other stars or one other star, he obviously wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I just would like to see how it could contribute to a bigger picture of a team that's actually.
That's why I think that's like he has the game to where he can spread a floor for a team, but also can like go and can handle the ball and get a bucket at any point too. So I think I like his game a whole lot, man.
Yeah, I like Zach LaVine too. I really do. He was one of those guys early on in the there was trade rumors swirling like a few years back or just a year ago, where there was talks that the Lakers could acquire him in some sort of perfect world trade. But yeah, Zach LaVine extremely tough, and I think he could be a third guy somewhere and really be solid. I think even with a good team, he could average 20 points, and obviously defensive limitations, but. Whenever you got Jaylen Brown and Jonathan Isaac and, some of those guys, you don't really need them to defend that well. But, yeah, like to pick there. Top of the 5th round, Zach LaVine off of the board. Fred, where are you going, brother?
I'll go D'Angelo Russell here.
D-Russ.
I just don't see another 2-guard that I'd like to slide there. Nah. I think D'Angelo Russell's better.
He averages 20 points per game this season. Right at 5.5 assists. He has decreased his assist totals ever since his all-star year in Brooklyn in 2018. He has casually gone down from 7 assists to 5.5. And his rebounds, he's gone down in rebounds 2 to 3 rebounds a game. He's another one of those guys, and 43% from the field. D-Russ really, I have battled so much with D'Angelo Russell. Because I don't know, because in Brooklyn, I thought he was, starting to elevate himself, and I thought he was ready to take that next step. And then whenever he went to the Warriors, I was like, this is perfect for him. He won't have any pressure. He'll get to play alongside Steph, and it was absolutely terrible. And now he's in Minnesota, and Minnesota, he hasn't looked that good. He's been struggling a bit. And, him and Cat, I thought were going to be a really good duo and contend for an 8 seed. But D-Russ is hard for me. I struggle with D'Angelo Russell. But again, he is a one-time All-Star.
You said you think he's better off the ball, right?
I would agree, yes.
Yeah.
Why? I don't see him as a 1, personally. Okay. I don't. I think he can shoot better than most. He's right at 40% from 3 this season. I think he has a nice shot on him. And I think if he's your secondary playmaker, you're in a really good spot. Because he can still thread the needle with some good passes. He's a very smart kid. The way he plays, he's extremely smart.
That was my thought, putting him right next to D Fox.
But now, wouldn't you say that his one time being an all-star in Brooklyn was when he was on the ball, and then ever since he's been off the ball has been when he struggled? Golden State.
In LA, but Kobe was still there for part of that. Rip, man.
Yeah.
In Golden State, he played alongside Steph. That did not work at all.
But the last 2 seasons he's played on the ball, and we're seeing how that's going.
Yeah,
also not well.
Yeah.
Minnesota is not a good spot for anybody.
That's what I'm telling you, man. I tried screaming this during our last video where we were talking about brightest futures, and the Minnesota Timberwolves started climbing a little bit higher than I wanted them to or thought they should. Minnesota Timberwolves, I don't like that organization. I don't know what happens, but young players go there and then just they just ruin ruin a space and time of their career, and then they get traded. Kevin Garnett, for instance, got traded and then won a championship. It's I don't think D'Angelo Russell is going to get traded and go win championships, but I think a guy like Karl Anthony-Towns could do that.
Oh yeah,
where he can contribute to a winning culture and to a winning team. Like I said, D'Angelo Russell, I struggle with bad.
When was the last time they made the playoffs? Do you know off the top of your head? Was it with Kevin Love?
No, off the top of my head.
I'll look it up.
Kevin Love, another instance of where they.
Well, I think he played better with he won a chip, but I think he was worse of an actual player by himself. But he had more talent around him, so it was
I think Minnesota grabbed an 8.
He was a 20 and 20. He was a 20-20 machine.
Oh, he was great in Minnesota. That was
the 2004-2005 season.
Jesus, it's been 15, 16 years.
They secured the 8 seed on the last day of the right before the playoffs.
Jeez.
So they almost didn't make it that year. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about that organization. I don't like them. I don't think there's something there that draws me. I'm not a huge fan, but
all they can hope for is that the NBA actually does an expansion draft and they're not the worst team in the league anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was it? Did NHL do an expansion draft a couple years ago and the team won like a championship like right after that?
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't think that would happen in the
That
NBA.
will-
Oh yeah, the NBA. There's too much talent
All right.
around, but
No one thought
I-
that would happen there either.
Do what, Daniel?
No one thought that would happen in NHL either. So,
Yeah. All right, Dylan. Where are you going with here?
DeAndre Ayton, real quick with it. Fill out my starting five.
Ayton started out the year really bad. He was struggling very bad with the Phoenix Suns. Didn't look like he really was happy to even be playing basketball, if I'm being honest. Like he really looked like he was out of shape. He wasn't focused. But the last few games, this kid has stepped it up. And on the year, he's averaging 15 points, 12 and a half rebounds, 2 assists, and almost at a block and a half. And, almost 60% from the field. And with a guy like CP and with, D-Book and Mikal Bridges, who's taken that next step, I mean, I really like DeAndre Ayton.
The main reason I went with Ayton here is I looked at my team. I'm like, all right, my backcourt, they all can, like from my 1 to my 3, can all score, create, and shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot for the most part. Ja working on that still. He's still decent, but I mean, I don't really need the offense when it comes to my bigs as much. Just get the hard work, hustle stuff done.
I think Ayton's back to the basket game is a little underrated.
Oh yeah, he's not bad at offense by any means. I mean, none of these guys mostly in this are. I mean, there's a couple dudes, but
yeah. All right. Well, Daniel, where are you?
I'm excited for this pick. The past about 5 picks, I've been like, I really hope they don't take this guy. And I think I've heard a lot of studs come off the board here. And if I want to win a championship, I have to get a guy who can guard your best player. And here I am at pick 24, getting a guy I believe can guard anyone on this list, and OG Anunoby. Absolutely great defender. I think he fell too far. I was really praying the past 3 people didn't take him because I felt like I really needed him as my starting 3.
He is one of the. I think he's the only guy on this list that has won a championship.
Really?
probably, yeah.
And OG's like that 3-and-D man. One thing I will say, I thought for the Raptors to be good this season, and obviously they're struggling out of the gate. I thought he would have to up his scoring to about 16, 17, maybe even low 20s for them to be a solid team. I love OG. Coming out, I was a big OG Anunoby fan. I'm pretty sure he tore his – am I right on this, Fred? I know you're really – college a lot. Did he tear his ACL in Indiana?
Yeah, in Indiana, yeah. Coming in the draft.
And right. Wasn't it close to the draft? And so
he might have tore it in the tournament.
He fell to 17, right?
He fell to 23rd overall.
He fell.
He fell to 23rd overall to the Raptors in the 2017 draft. And so, again, on the year, he's averaging 14 points and 2 steals a game, 6 rebounds, and he's right at 48% from the field, over 40% from the 3. I think he's one of the more underrated guys on this list. I did not think you were going there. I thought you were going to take the guy I'm about to take. And I was getting really antsy over here. I was like,
I'm excited to hear who it is now.
Yeah, I think I know.
With back to back, I know exactly where I'm going. But I'm just gonna go. I'm taking Kristaps Porzingis. I'm not sure how he fell as far as he did.
Yeah.
But I mean, you want to talk about floor spacing now? If I want to, I can move Ben to even my bench. I can move Ben Simmons to my bench, especially with where I'm about to go with my second pick.
I really wanted him, man. I almost took him, but
I don't know how he fell this far. Porzingis, man, he has been hurt this season, but last season he was putting up 20 points per game, almost 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks. I mean, right at 43% from the field. This year he's shooting 50% from the field.
He's played well since he got back healthy.
I love Porzingis. His floor, the way he spaces the floor is just, and his shot is just so pure. Like
he'll pull from 35 feet with a dude.
He will literally pull as soon as he crosses half court. The Mavericks are so much fun to watch. But dude, I can't believe he fell straight into my lap because I was sitting here for the last 7 picks, don't take Porzingis, and he fell to me. And now my other guy that I really wanted, I'm getting a jersey of him here real soon. Michael Porter Jr.
I knew that.
I gotta grab my guy. Dude, now I feel good on the defensive end. I feel really good on the offensive end.
Good pick.
Man, I expected Porter Jr. to fall to me eventually. I wasn't ready for that Porzingis, but Michael Porter Jr. This season he's been battling a lot with health and safety protocols. And he's been in it twice already, where he's had 2 back-to-back 10-day quarantines. The other night he played for the first time since like December 20 something. And so he averages on this year 16.5 points, 8 rebounds, right about assists and a half, 1 steal, a block. He's shooting over 55% from the field. And 44% from the 3. Like, I love Michael Porter Jr. This kid, I watched in the bubble. I fell in love with him, and I knew he was going to be solid. But again, he has those health concerns. But again, perfect world here. He's in his second year. This kid needs to be the number 2 option on the Denver Nuggets. Like him and Jokic. And then Jamal, I think Jamal is their third. I think Michael Porter Jr. could be better than Jamal Murray.
Oh, I do too. I'm 100% with that.
I love Michael Porter Jr. He fell too far in that 2018 draft.
Injuries, man. It's just scary. I mean, being a scout.
It is terrible.
Organization.
And with the back issue that he had, it was extreme because you knew he wasn't going to play for at least a year. And that's just at least. And
then who knows what he comes back and like.
Yeah,
I mean,
who knows what
he half himself.
But I love Michael Porter Jr. I think he's gone through a lot, and I think it's his time to blossom. And so I am so happy Michael Porter Jr. fell to my lap there, man. I love my team. But Daniel, where are you rocking with, bro?
Dang, I forgot my pick was up. All right, so we're going first spot on the bench here.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go recency bias. Okay, I'm a big Cleveland Cavaliers fan. I'm gonna go Collin Sexton.
Snag my man, but I got someone ready. Snag my man.
Collin Sexton. Dude, coming off, what he did to the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, he's averaging almost 27 points this year per game.
Carrying the game. 100%.
He has established himself as a potential most improved player candidate. He averages 4 assists, which I'd like to see him get that up. But 27 points. He's a scorer. He's a bucket head. He averages just 47% from 3 on the year. Like that, that's pretty crazy. And and 5 attempts per game. Over 50% from the field as well. Like I think that Collin Sexton's year is kind of going under the radar because he plays in Cleveland. But back-to-back wins over the Nets. And Collin Sexton, I'm not a huge Collin Sexton fan. Never have. I was on – if we would have had this a few years ago, I would have gone on record and said this kid ain't going to work in the league. And I would have been flat out wrong because he's very, very solid. So, yeah, Collin Sexton. Anybody have any thoughts on Collin Sexton? Caleb, how you like him?
I want to. He's got I don't know. He's got a punchable face. I don't know, man. When he came into the league, I wanted to punch him in the face so bad, but he's solid. I'm not the biggest fan of his game, but like you have to admire what he's doing right now.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, I mean, what can I say? You know what I mean? I hope he keeps playing this well. Like I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope Collin Sexton watches this and adds you on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
It says, Caleb, meet me somewhere.
Meet me up in Cleveland.
All right, Dylan, where are you going?
I'm gonna go my guy Christian Wood.
Yeah.
Looked very
fell
good.
far too.
He did too. He's looked amazing. Last year he played for the Pistons, and they didn't have a lot of their roster for most of the season, and they're bad. I mean, they're just bad. Let's put it real. But I mean, then he goes to Houston, and he's doing close enough to the same thing he was doing last year on a better team. So
he's way overperforming what he did last year. And something
really
I
like
found
his mentality too. I think he's a great talker.
Oh yeah,
He's something that like you watch some of his interviews, it's just you fall in love with him quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't remember what it was, but I saw something about like his story, like his just like coming on. I think he's been like waived and signed so many times.
6 teams in 5 years.
Yeah, and now he's like looking like a
5 years. Yeah, he's gone. He's been passed around, and then last year he really established himself. He played really good with the Pelicans in 2018-2019. He only played 8 games with the Pelicans, but he averaged like 18 points. And then Detroit gave him an opportunity, and obviously we know what happened in Detroit. He played really, really well. But now in Houston, he's averaging pretty much 24 points, 11 rebounds.
Oh, yeah.
Like over 50%. Like this kid.
Harden really. He was.
And I think the way he's handled the James Harden situation is something to applaud.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Christian.
Oh, I think John Wall's great. I think if he keeps progressing, he could probably be the best player on that team.
And with Boogie is playing way, like getting better. He went crazy last night. Back-to-back games where he had over 15 rebounds.
28 points, I believe.
Yeah, 28 points, 15 rebounds. I think he had 8 assists, and he had a very efficient game as well. He shot 4 of 8 from 3. Off the top of my head, I can't remember his field goal percentage, but it was extremely good as well.
How long did Houston sign him up for when they signed him this offseason? 3 years?
Who, Christian Wood?
Yeah, how long did they sign him for?
3.
You know?
3 years. They got him for almost, I think it was like $10 million cheaper than the Pistons got the Grant guy.
Jeremy Grant. I love me some
Grant.
Jeremy Grant. God,
But I mean, Jakeem,
Jeremy Grant is tough though. I mean, he didn't do anything much with the Nuggets. I mean, he filled in spots, but with Thunder and then with Pistons this year, he's putting up numbers for the Pistons. You know, they're the Pistons.
Yeah, I like Christian Wood. It seems like a type of Fred, like a guy that Fred would really like. A guy with grit, a guy with determination, a guy that's been waived so many times, but he's just ready to be there. He's so excited to be in the building. But Fred, you are up, my guy. Where are you going?
I'll go Mikal Bridges here.
I like Mikal. I like Mikal.
If I want to get weird, I can start him with a 2, bring D-Russ off the bench, and go Fox, Bridges, Ingram, Sabonis, and Jokic. So
I like that. I like that a lot. I really like Bridges. He knows how to win. He went to Villanova, and if you go to Villanova, you know how to win. That's a very
long.
He is extremely long. He's 6'6", and I mean he's a guy that you can rely on to play. He played 82 games his rookie year. He played 73 last year, and this year, I mean, he's taking that next step. He averages 15 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, almost a steal a game, and again, 46% from 3. Like that can't go. He's another really good 3-and-D guy, and he's a guy that I thought him and OG kind of are similar in that aspect. But I think Mikal is a little bit of a better scorer than OG has the edge on the defensive end. But I like Mikal Bridges. I really do.
Good pick.
All right, Caleb, where are you going with round out 6th round?
I'll bring in. I need somebody to come off the bench to take Karl Anthony-Towns' spot, and bring in some defense. I'll take Myles Turner.
Myles Turner.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah, he's an elite shot blocker, I think, and he can spread the floor too. Another guy in Indiana. I just like Indiana a lot, man. Don't know why, but
Dude, he's averaging 4 blocks a game right now.
He's great. He's a great player.
Yeah,
He's
elite.
And I mean, 30% from 3. I mean, yeah, tough. That's tough.
And if he's coming off your bench, wow. But
and he doesn't need the ball to be good. I think he's kind of what people wanted out of Mo Bamba. I think he is what people wanted Mo Bamba to be, a floor spacing shot blocker. And but Myles Turner, one of those guys that I think that Boston Celtics, all those talks where the Pacers and the Celtics this offseason were in talks about getting Myles Turner. If the Boston Celtics would have gotten Myles Turner, I mean, come on. They should have done what they could have in the Gordon Hayward situation, because Indiana wanted Gordon Hayward. But, you know, of course, the Celtics being greedy wanted like Oladipo, Warren, and Turner. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, just grab Turner, get a pick, and then roll. But that's neither here nor there. I got on a little rant there. But Myles Turner, great pick there. And who was your last pick, man?
Okay. This one's tough. Give me Kelly Oubre.
Kelly Oubre.
Another guy that's tough defensively coming off the bench. I think he can guard multiple positions and spread the floor. I mean, he was really struggling to hit shots early on in the season. He was like, I think the only shots he had made for the first 4 games were dunks. But
20% from 3.
Yeah, I think he hit a rough spot the first couple games, but bring him off my bench for some defense. Replace Zach LaVine. I'll take it.
He plays hard. Hey, Fred, you want to talk about your man Kelly Oubre, or you want to?
Yeah, he's one of those other guys who's super active. Defensively, offensively, I think he always crashes the glass. You see him get a ton of putback slams. He's a good-looking guy. I mean,
you don't want to talk about how pretty you think he is.
Yeah,
he's a good guy, man. He's a good guy. I think he just is what he is. I mean, he plays a role and he plays it well.
Yeah, I like Kelly Oubre. He plays with a lot of energy, like you said. And, you know, he's one of those guys, like I was watching them the other day. He'll like cause a deflection and then point real hard to like where the ball. It's actually really funny. But if I was on the other team, like I would want to punch him in the throat. I'd be like, you're not funny. But
get to the pretty boy.
Yeah, but Kelly Oubre off the board. So that completes Caleb's roster. As it's looking, he's got Luka Doncic, Zach LaVine, Jaylen Brown, Jonathan Isaac, Karl Anthony-Towns, Myles Turner, and Kelly Oubre Jr. So there is the complete for the Dirk's Disciples there. And Fred.
Sorry, Dirk's Disciples.
Fred, what are you rolling with here, bro?
I'll go Brandon Clarke here.
Tough
kid I really like.
You're going a lot of tough, like off your pine here, especially with Mikal Bridges and Brandon Clarke.
Yeah, 2 young guys. Or wait, they're all young, but you know what I mean. Like They're tough. Yes, they're both long. I think both of them have a lot of defensive potential, and
Yep.
I just like Brandon Clark's energy. I think
Brandon Clarke is what he is. He's a solid bench player. He's a solid guy. Comes in, he plays his role. He does it pretty well.
Yep.
He'll give you about 13 points. He'll give you like 6 rebounds.
Yep.
You know, which is exactly what he averaged last year, and which is pretty much what he's averaging this year. He is what he is. I don't think there's much of a ceiling or floor to him. I think he is what he is. Yeah. And Brandon Clarke, I know Dylan. You're more of a Grizzly fan. Do you have
second favorite team. I mean,
you got anything to add on Brandon Clarke here?
I love the kid. He's really good, but I mean, it kind of hurts. I mean, Jaren Jackson can't play the 5, and he has been hurt, like you'll say. But I think he's tough, and he definitely easily could start in the league for sure.
Yeah.
But when Jaren Jackson comes back, he'll be that 6-man role.
I found it alarming. Like, he doesn't average a block a game.
Yeah, that kid. Yeah.
Yeah, like this season's averaging 0.6 blocks per game.
Yeah, Brandon Clarke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he does a lot of tough stuff though. I mean, he big body.
Yeah. He's a get it done type of guy. But I don't know. When I'm looking for my starting center, I want him to block a shot a game.
Oh, that's why I have him coming off the pine. I don't
agree.
Yeah, so it's looking like for Fred, he's got De'Aaron Fox, Mikal Bridges at the 2, Brandon Ingram, Domantas Sabonis, Nikola Jokic, with D'Angelo Russell and Brandon Clarke off his bench. So he's got a nice scorer. He's got a solid player in Brandon Clarke, who is what he is. And but all surrounding
easily the best front court.
Cole and Sabonis are very, very tough. Yeah, that is the best front court probably that we have rolling here. But all right. So Dylan,
the same thing with the UK draft. Didn't you pick? Was that you?
No, I went Knight first.
Yeah, he went all guards. He had like Ulyss Knight.
Yeah, Ulyss Knight.
But so Dylan, your last pick. What are you rolling with here?
I'm going Tyler Herro. We're gonna get straight buckets off the bench with Tyler. We're gonna get something and shoot the ball.
Tyler Herro, man.
I'll be honest. I don't think he should have got drafted.
I mean, I was going honestly. There was no. I mean, it doesn't matter. I guess I can say it now. Who I was gonna pick. Probably would have got a lot of hate. Was Wiggins.
No, I mean, I
like Wiggs.
I like Wiggins. I feel like I don't know if it's because his expectations have been so high in his career, being a first overall pick, which but it was between him and him. And I see I already got Christian Wood. I was just kind of thinking like I need some scoring off the bench, like I can trust.
That's what it is with Wiggins. Is like he scored really well throughout his career, but he was in Minnesota, so it's like you're not going to win there.
You go there to die. If you go to Minnesota, you are going to die.
The expectation with Wiggins was so high, and I mean, I still think he's put up good numbers throughout his career, especially. But I mean, maybe not number 1 pick numbers, but who cares? You know what I mean? Like he's still played really, really well.
Yeah, before Tyler Herro, he's got 18 points a game, averaging right at 7 rebounds, which is kind of surprising. Tyler Herro sticks his nose in there, man. He's averaging about 4 assists. He's another one of those guys, man, can absolutely fill it up when needed. But he is shooting a little bit lower percentage from 3 than I would like, 30%, and then 46% from the field.
Sure, I think I might have to hop off here in a second real quick.
But Tyler Herro, he's got a neck injury that is backing him, that has, sidelined him for a little bit. He's had some health and safety protocol issues, but Tyler Herro. So his team is Ja Morant, Donovan Mitchell, Jayson Tatum, John Collins, DeAndre Ayton, Christian Wood, and Tyler Herro. So there is that. Daniel,
I think that was a great pick. I think he was a stud. That was what I was going to go with, but I'm going to go with a real number 1 pick and LaMelo Ball.
Shoot, I was going to take him. I was going to
off the board.
So you're going to pair him and Collin Sexton off your bench?
Off the bench, man. The bench unit, man, get the best guys available. That's how I'm going with it, man. They can play ball. They can score the ball. They can pass the ball. I wanted to go a big guy. I don't like any big guy left because I wanted Myles Turner. Caleb took him when he should have gone, which is who I really wanted, though. Once he went off the board, I was thinking Tyler Herro, just a off-the-ball scorer.
Yeah.
He left, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to go best available LaMelo Ball.
I love LaMelo. Right at 12 points a game, 6.5 rebounds, 5, pretty much 6 assists, a steal and a half a game. He's averaging almost 2 steals a game. And while he's shooting 40% from the field, he's shooting a better percentage from 3 than Tyler Herro. He's shooting 32%. And, LaMelo Ball, his knock coming into the draft was, can he be a 3-point shooter? Can he be efficient? Can he be this? Can he be that? And LaMelo Ball is just, I love LaMelo. I really wanted him.
Youngest player drafted.
Yeah, sky's the limit. 6'6", another long kid. Anybody got anything to add on LaMelo?
I
They're
think
number one.
when he's good, like when he's playing good, like he brings a lot to the table. But when he's struggling, I think it's like, oh man, it's really like we went over that last night. Like when he's struggling,
I think though, whenever he is struggling to score, that rebounding and playmaking ain't going nowhere, and he can still do those things. That's where I love LaMelo. I think he's one of the brightest young stars. And with the last pick in the draft, I'm gonna snag RJ Barrett, a kid who's been playing extremely well this season. I really like RJ Barrett. Very, very smooth. He's averaging right at 18 points this season, 7 rebounds, 3.5 assists. Another kid, he's shooting 41%. He's not much of a 3-point shooter, which he needs to continue to improve on that. He's shooting just above 25%. But I mean, he's averaging 37 minutes per game this season with Thibodeau at the helm. Like, that's unbelievable that this kid's playing that much. But RJ Barrett to round out my bench, I think he's one of the best available guys. And just kind of to highlight some of these guys that went undrafted who were in the pool real quick: James Wiseman, Andrew Wiggins, Lonzo Ball, Aaron Gordon, Lauri Markkanen, and Marvin Bagley. So a lot of prospects were left on the board. And
I don't want anyone there.
Yeah, I don't either. And so that rounds out. So Daniel's team, I'm not sure if I went over it, is Jamal Murray, Devin Booker, OG Anunoby, Zion Williamson, Jaren Jackson Jr., with Collin, Sexton, and LaMelo Ball off his bench. Jeez. And then for me, I got Trae Young, Shai, Michael Porter Jr. I think I'm going to throw Kristaps in there with Bam at the 5, and then Ben Simmons and RJ Barrett off my bench. And I like my little lineup there. So that was really fun. I love the 25 and under. Do we kind of want to get into who do you think has the best team here? You want me to rank them, or are we just – you guys ready to round?
No, you put that on me the last video. You go ahead and rank them.
Go ahead. Okay, so I think let's start at 5. Who's got the worst team?
Do Fred.
I'm like I like his front court too much. I think that front court can cause problems. And when I'm looking at it, I'm trying to see who I think would lose to every team.
You said me, Caleb?
Yeah, just because I did that for the UK video. I'm not being serious.
Oh, like everybody always says I had a worse team.
Man, I really don't know. And whenever we say worst, it's not really that it's a bad team. It's right. Just that there were teams. I'm just gonna go. Let's go Caleb's team. Where do I like him? I like his team. I don't think it's the best, but I don't think it's the worst. What do you guys think about Caleb's team? Luka, Zach LaVine, Jaylen Brown, Isaac, Cat, Myles Turner, Kelly Oubre.
I think it might be the worst, but it's hard to make him the worst when he has the best player by like a long shot.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking 4, just to put him at 4, and I can move him up or down. So I'm gonna stick with that. Caleb at 4. I just think that, while you do have Jonathan Isaac and Jaylen Brown, the defense of Zach LaVine, Karl Anthony-Towns doesn't really guard that well, and Luka, Myles Turner makes up for it though, and so does Kelly Oubre. I'm like talking myself out of it. I'm just gonna move. I'm gonna put you at 4, and I can move you up or down. Fred with De'Aaron Fox, Mikal Bridges, Brandon Ingram, Sabonis, and Jokic. That Sabonis Jokic combo is really sticking with me.
Thank you.
Yeah, but if you play small ball, you're gonna run right past those two.
This is tough. I hate doing this.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm glad I'm not in that spot.
I think if we're going head to head with Caleb, I think Fred's team could beat Caleb's team, because I think Jokic, Sabonis with Brandon Ingram. Dude, this is tough. This is harder than you guys think. Daniel, since you were open about the Caleb, where do you think about Fred?
I think Fred. So at first I was gonna say Fred was the worst because I don't have them all written down. But then when he reset his team, I think De'Aaron Fox was. I told you that was he got picked too late.
Yeah.
So I think he's a great point guard, fastest guy in the league. And then he has who's his 2?
Mikal Bridges or D'Angelo Russell, just whatever he's feeling that day.
And then who was the 3?
Brandon Ingram, Sabonis.
I thought Brandon Ingram was a great pick as well, which I think can spread the floor well. I don't know. I like his team.
I'm going to put him at 3 with the ability to move him up to 2. That's what I'm doing. I'm putting him at 3 with leaving myself open. And I don't like rating my team because I don't want to be biased.
That's hard.
Trae Young, Shai, Michael Porter Jr., Kristaps Porzingis, Bam Adebayo, with Ben Simmons and RJ Barrett off the bench.
If I'm being honest, I was gonna put Troy's team at number 1. I think the pick of Kristaps to spread the ball. I thought that.
Yeah, because y'all were hating on my floor spacing, then I snagged Kristaps, and that's kind of was like my one need.
Oh,
I thought Bam was an awesome pick, and then I think your top 2 guys are studs.
But I don't know if a team can even guard my bunch either.
it's hard being
I don't
doing
know
your
if
own team.
I know.
I
I
don't think
hate,
my
I
team can
hate
guard
the
many
position of
teams, but I think
rating
I
my own
can
team.
outscore everybody on the board.
Yeah, I love my team though. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. But let's just go to Dylan, and I'll just put mine wherever spots open here. Ja, Donovan Mitchell, Jayson Tatum, John Collins, DeAndre Ayton, Christian Wood, and Tyler Herro here. So
Oh, Daniel. Okay.
5.
I don't know. I think I'd take Daniel's team. I don't know.
You think you beat my team? You're lying.
Nah.
I'm gonna move Fred to 2, Fred and Caleb up, and I'm gonna put Daniel at 4, and Dylan at 5.
All right. All right.
I think it's what I'm doing because I'm
Troy,
looking
my
at,
team beat yours by 30.
no, you wouldn't. I'm sorry.
Nikola Jokic with body Bam.
Bam's one of the best young defenders in the game. I could throw Ben Simmons out there to guard Sabonis. I mean, other than that,
What's Ben Simmons doing
I won
Sabonis?
2 with torch.
He would not be able to guard Sabonis.
I agree. Ben Simmons couldn't guard Sabonis.
I don't.
But
I
Sabonis be
think,
here.
I don't think it's a baby. I think you're crazy if you think that's a baby.
Mouse in the
He's
house?
one of the best young defenders in the game. Y'all
Mouse in
hate
the
on
house.
Ben
Not
Simmons.
a bonus. He's just too big.
Yeah, but
I'm putting
they
Fred's
couldn't.
team at
I mean,
1. I don't
Sabonis
know.
couldn't guard any of my players, even Kristaps.
I'm putting Sabonis, or I'm putting Fred's team at 1.
I'm not.
I don't know. I don't know. Now I'm talking.
It's hard to rank this stuff because they actually all. I feel like most teams are pretty close. There's a little bit of margin between them all, but it is hard to, especially
Does
for you.
everyone
picking
have
your
a
own team.
ranking in their head? A top 5?
I mean, Troy's got
I
all the
have
people.
mine in my head.
Go.
Yeah.
Spew it out.
Mine's
Dylan.
Troy at 1, me at 2, Fred at 3, Caleb 4, Dylan 5.
I think I would agree with Dylan's spot. Dylan, I like your team. Again, I love Donovan Mitchell and Jayson Tatum, but you have very like defensive issues at all 7. Literally all 7.
I mean,
Not
Donovan-
one of your players is good at defense.
yeah,
Donovan
not great.
Mitchell, when Donovan Mitchell came out of college, that was like his big thing was defense.
And now he's just a bucket. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought my team was just a bunch of okay defensive players. At
yeah,
that.
you're just like a ton of ad defense. So I think you at 5 is fine, just because again, you're. I think I made the claim you and Daniel were kind of going like the Brooklyn Net, but then OG kind of and Jaren Jackson.
Well, I was gonna try to get Jonathan Isaac if he fell, but he didn't fall. That's who I wanted to pick up there. And I was gonna run Tatum at the 4 possibly. Or
Yeah, and
3.
then yeah. So Dylan at 5, I would 100% agree with, and then 4 through 1 is just extremely difficult because I feel like I value defense, and I think putting Caleb at 3, and then Fred 2, me 1, Daniel 4 is where I'm going. Me, Fred, Caleb, Daniel, Dylan. That's my ranking. There we go. What do you think? I see a lot of shaking heads. I see a lot of.
Dude, everyone wants to
Dude,
be 1.
I mean, I don't care if I'm 1, but
I just.
in my head, I know all of our teams are good and would be very good teams.
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah,
all of
I
our
mean,
teams are great and young guys. This was a lot of fun. I'm not even gonna lie. This was a
Honestly,
lot of fun.
take him to the sticks.
Yeah, let's lock this up on 2K and let's
Oh,
see,
that'd be.
let's see what's rolling. But anybody got any closing thoughts, man? And as we stated last video, the NBA is in great hands, and this kind of just shows we were able to gather. I mean, all of our lineups. We could sit here and be like, these kids are on their own, and
yeah.
7 for each team. So that's 35 guys that we are very confident in and formed lineups. And so NBA is in great hands. Any closing thoughts from anybody?
Like you said, 35 guys that can run the league.
So real quick, thank you, Dylan and Daniel, for joining us for this video. We really
Mhm.
appreciate it. Fred, you can go ahead and get us out of here, brother.
All right.
Yes, sir. Like Troy said, Dylan, Daniel, thank you all for coming by. Caleb, Troy, thank you as always. Remember, don't be stars, don't be superstars. Change the game, be an X factor. See you guys next time. X Factor Sports Talk. God bless.
See you.
Peace.
Jeez.